Hey guys, it's Bryan, your friendly neighborhood reviewer, and I am here today to talk about Dan Fogelberg's 1977 release, Netherlands. Nice copy here. Pretty easy album to find. Very popular album. Surprised how popular it was. Really no big hit singles off or anything, but at this time he was. This is his fourth album. Um, he had gone to L.A. at the time. Got to know a lot of the Eagles and a lot of the. There's a lot of people guest on his albums. John David Souther, Glenn Frey, Don Henley, Joe Walsh. They all kind of knew each other. Jackson Brown. Kind of like that coterie of instrumentalists and musicians and bands and all that. But anyway, he got tired of the LA lifestyle and moved to Colorado at this time, which is when this album was recorded. It was recorded in a studio called Nether Lands, kind of a play on the studio name with two D's in Colorado. But Fogelberg's a really cool artist. He reminds me so much of like the male counterpart to Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell, of course, is a great, amazing singer songwriter, just immensely talented. Left a mark on music forever. And also developed music a lot with jazz rock and things like that, jazz pop and all that. But anyway, but he reminds me so much of like the male counterpart to her. He's a self-contained artist. He multi-instrumentalist. He plays piano, guitar, all that stuff. A songwriter, lyricist, very well-crafted lyricist, and a painter. He always has his art in his albums, like in this one. Kind of definitely reminiscent of Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell always did a lot of self-portraits in her album artwork. And he's always doing stuff like that too. So really, really well-crafted album. Much to my surprise, I didn't know this made our local channel, WFPK, did a top 500 albums of, the 70s. Viewers write in, nominate their top 10 records, and they compile them. Much to my surprise, this came in at number 379. I've always loved this album, but I've never heard anybody talk about it that much. Probably because there is no really big hit single off it, but it's just a great album. His fourth album, like I said, he was still trying to make it. He really didn't have part of the plan was a hit single off Souvenirs, I think it was. And then he had Power of Gold, I think it was from Twin Sons of Different Mothers. I think he had a hit on that. But it took a while for him to really break through with a big hit like Longer or Same Old Lang Syne, something like that. But on this album, even though it didn't have a big hit single, it is so well crafted and was a bestseller. And the way it flows together is so brilliantly done. The production, everything on it. Starting with Netherlands, the title track, which is the sweeping orchestral number that is just gorgeous. And then it just hovers there, and then boom, it goes right into Once Upon a Time, which is just a great little, kind of like a folky pop, really catchy number. He does that really well. But it's a very folky kind of stuff, but with a lot of oomph to it and a lot of really well-placed compositions and well-put-together compositions. Some of the choruses and things on this go places that you don't expect. And some of the melodies and stuff that come across as really original and really has a lot of depth. It's not just some trite little knockoff little singles or something. And I love it when artists use musical means to express the lyric. And he does that very well here with Loose Ends. Exposing loose ends, because it builds up into this great song, and then you get this wild chorus, kind of weird chorus, and then just builds and builds, and then just drops, and then it like exposing loose ends, and that's what it illustrates. And then he just sings the title song. It's really cool how he does it. Lindsey Buckingham did that too on Fleetwood Mac's Tusk album with the song "The Ledge," which literally just stops like it's going to fall off the edge. I love it when artists do that, illustrate the lyrics with the music. It's great. So he does that here a lot. This is just a fantastic album. But a lot of critics have not liked Dan Fogelberg. Just some, like a lot of critics hate Journey, whatever. But probably because Dan Fogelberg reminds me too of Jackson Brown. He's that kind of artist. He's a craftsman. Some artists can just knock something off and it's cool. Other artists have to really work at it a little bit, and you can tell with Dan Fogelberg, you can tell with Jackson Brown, some of these artists like that, that there is a certain where they really craft lyrics. Now, sometimes that can get too superficial or maybe too artificial because you can tell it, but a lot of times it's just really well done lyrically and then musically. So he's a very patient craftsman, and some artists, some critics, I guess, think that's a little stilted. I don't know, but I don't get it because he comes off lines here that are just really cool. The title track, my soul as it rises and sings, anthems to glory and anthems to love, and hymns filled with earthly delight, like the songs of the darkness composes to worship the light. That's a great line. There's a lot of stuff like that in here. So I think he's terribly underrated as a songwriter and as a lyricist. But, critics are critics. Myself, this is a fantastic album. Everything sweeps together. There's not a bad track on it at all. There's just some great melodies, some unusual melodies, sketches. Sketches is a great one, too. A 2-part little song, gorgeous ballad. It reminds me so much of Stevie Wonder's Never Dreamed to Leave in Summer. Great song, too. And it has that sweep and grandeur and that ache in it. And, oh, my goodness, great song. But this whole album is amazing. Dancing Shoes, that's another fantastic ballad. Lessons Learned, Promises Made, Love Gone By. Love Gone By is a great rocker. That should have been a hit off this album easily. I think it was released as a single, but just didn't hit. But yeah, without a doubt, check this album out. This is a real sleeper, I think. Really gorgeous album. So take a look at the vinyl here a little bit. So the nice cover here, nice little picture, and the inner sleeve or the inner jacket that I've shown you. But yeah, got the lyrics on there and everything. The picture, the back cover of it. Yeah, really cool. And then it does have a custom sleeve. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, custom sleeve. Mountain, Colorado. Kind of cool. And really neat there. All the musicians and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of people played on this album. But anyway, and then the Full Moon Records. I think this is the first one released on their label. But anyway, it's a nice little cool custom label. Yeah. But yeah, a terribly underrated artist. He influenced a lot of people too. Garth Brooks was majorly influenced by him, but a lot of country artists were influenced by Dan Fogelberg. Yeah, one of those guys that, like I said, critics hate, but everybody loves, and you're like, why? Why do critics hate him? Critics are snobs. Anyway, but great little album. Definitely seek it out. Not an expensive album at all to find. Definitely worth your time. Anyway, all right. Hope you liked the vinyl showcase and the review. Please like, subscribe, hit the buttons, all that stuff. I really enjoy doing this, guys. Really appreciate sharing this with you all. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Dan Fogelberg. I'd love to hear everybody's comments on this because I love this album so much. But and tell me what your favorite albums are. If you like Dan Fogelberg or you agree with some of the critics that he's a little, I don't know, whatever. But check out my buddy David Darko's channel. We have a lot of fun with that channel. Talk about political, cultural nonsense, BS, whatever. But we have with a lot of humor. But thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.